Y'all ready? Y'all ready? Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Good morning. Y'all look good today. Y'all look good. You make me feel good. Hey, thank you for giving me this opportunity, Andy and Jane. I am very appreciative. And hopefully today I can give you guys some nuggets on how I was successful. But first I want to tell you this thing that I learned from Marcus Richardson. It's called CASE. Copy and steal everything. I'm not making anything up. Everything I'm telling you, I learned from somebody else. We're just going to package this thing up and hopefully we can teach you something. So yesterday, Jane took us to school, right? Jane took us to school. I want you to take out your pen and pad and try to write some of these things down because I'm going to go fast, right? I'm going to go fast. Thank you to Mike and Noel who helped me get started. Quick segue, I almost messed this thing up. When Mike interviewed me, I told him he couldn't afford me. Yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy. But I'm glad we pushed through. I'm glad I got here, and I'm glad I have the opportunity to speak before you today. All right, so like Adam Katz said, my name is Kevin Lewis. My beautiful wife is here in front with me, Kendra. My boys are here, Kendrick and Kendall. We're the K-Lou crew. We hail from Birmingham, Alabama, and we're going to blow this thing up. All right, who went to Breakthrough last year? Give me a shout. Here's a harder question. Who remembers the blue cards? All right, next harder and harder question. Who still reads them every day? Ooh, a lot less. I take mine with me everywhere I go. Whenever I'm on the road, I read them every morning, and it has helped me. And what's crazy is one of the things I wrote down last year when we did this thing was that I wanted to earn every trip. We earned a trip. I said I want to issue pay $20,000 a month. I've done that. I wanted to get agency manager. Did that. I ripped those cards up, started something new. So if you haven't gotten your ticket to Breakthrough, get it now. It's life-changing. It is life-changing. You got to get there. All right? All right. Andy told me something a couple weeks ago in Atlanta. I just happened to be there. And I linked up with him. He was doing a hot spot. And he said, we are all tomatoes on a vine. We are all tomatoes on a vine. You're either getting ripe or you're going rotten. You're in the seat today to get ripe and continue to getting ripe. Go to the next conference, go to the next hotspot, continue to get the knowledge that you need to be successful, and you can't go anywhere but up from there. All right, so today I'm here to talk to you about IULs. What is an IUL? IUL stands for Indexed Universal Life. It's a life insurance policy. That's all it is. It's a life insurance policy. Keep it simple. It's a way to generate tax-free retirement income. I've heard people call it many, many things. I love that my guy Brandon Beal calls it infinite banking. My personal favorite is calling it personal pension account, right? And it's just a way for you to generate money in your senior years that you can access now without having to worry about market risk. The key to IUL sales is being able to go back and forth between being an asset to your client and then playing the question game with your client. And I'm going to tell you exactly what that means here in a second. But being an asset to the client is just teaching them a couple things, giving them a little bit of nuggets to help them understand what we're talking about. So for example, what is a 401k? Most people in this country have a 401k. The 401k has not been around for 100 years. 401k was designed in 1979. It was developed in 1979 by a guy named Ted Benner. It was designed as a way to supplement your pension, which everybody had at the time. If you work for a company, you worked there for 30 or 40 years, when you retired, you got a pension paid you for the rest of your life. Ted Benner found a loophole in the tax code, the 401k, said, hey, I can help you get more money in retirement. Companies figured it out that if people were putting their own money in retirement, they didn't have to pay a pension anymore. So pensions have been starting to go by the wayside. They're virtually obsolete. Very few companies in the U.S. still offer a pension. and that's okay. We are here to solve that problem. And just like everything else we do with life insurance, the IUL all starts with the why. Why does the client need what they need? We are in the problem-solving business. Problem solving. So before we do anything, we got to identify a problem. We're not in the business of providing solutions before we understand what the client needs. The hard part is that a lot of us try to jump ahead and say, oh, you sound like you'd be a great candidate for an IUL. And that's backwards. We got to understand the client first. Some people know that they have a problem that they need us to solve, but most people won't. Most people won't. And so my favorite way to get them to see and understand their problem is to play the question game. Who else played the question game before? If you have not played the question game with your upline, you need to. If your upline doesn't know, get with their upline. If they don't know, get with their other upline until you meet somebody who knows how to play the question game. The basic tenets of the question game is you're going to stand in front of another person and you're just going to ask questions. Whatever they ask you, you're going to ignore it. And you're just going to ask a different question. And what it's getting you to understand is that when a client asks you a question, you are under no obligation to answer that question right then. Like, right? Does everybody understand that? You do not have to answer every single question that your client asks you. And that's important because what will happen is you think you're on a roll, your client will ask you a question, and it'll get you off where you want to go. So my favorite thing to do is if a client asks me a question, say, well, let me ask you this. They forget about their question, and that's the goal. Right? It doesn't even matter what question I'm asking them. I just want to get them off of what they're thinking about and get back on what I want them to think about. You have to be willing to ask your clients the hard questions. Don't just ask surface questions. I remember Stephen Davies taught me, hey, when you're asking questions, we want to get 5 levels deep. What happens if your wife passes away today? And then listen, doesn't matter what they say. Then ask, how does that make you feel? What are you going to do next? What does that look like for you? What does your future look like? Those are the hard questions that you have to ask, but you have to be willing to step out and ask them. So I have a pop quiz for you guys. Here's a hard question for you. Does Chipotle sell hot dogs? Ooh, I heard some no's and I heard some yeses. Raise your hand if you say no. Would you believe me if I told you all of you are wrong? Did you know Chipotle sells hot dogs? Because you didn't ask the question. Chipotle sells hot dogs. All right? So you have to play the question game. Ask the questions, right? And the more and more questions you ask, the more and more you're going to understand which questions get you the answers that you're looking for. Right? So here we go, a couple. What's your plan for retirement? That's level 1. Second thing I ask them is, how's your portfolio doing? And then a better question is, how do you feel about that? And that's helping us to figure out where their problem is. Then I ask them, when's the last time they looked at it? Because a lot of people put their money away, don't even look at it, right? The market did not do that well last year. Most of their portfolios didn't either. That's an opportunity for us to solve a problem that they have. And then I asked them, what if there was a way that I could help you to earn tax-free retirement income, and it's tax-free, it's safe for market risk, and it's liquid? We got a conversation now. People are all ears. They're ready to rock, right? And then I asked them, I give them another pop quiz. Would you rather have $1 million today, and I'm sure many of you have heard this quiz, would you rather have $1 million today in your bank account, or would you rather have a penny that doubles every day for the next 31 days? Which one would you choose? The penny, right? It'll give you $10.7 million at the end of 31 days. Now, that is not to tell a client that they can take a penny and turn it into $10.7 million. It ain't gonna happen. But it is to get them to understand the power of compound interest and the power of letting your money sit somewhere and grow, right? And that's what we need the client to understand. So all of these things that I'm asking them are walking them down the path for them to be able to understand what an IUL is and how it can benefit them. Another pop quiz for you. You got $4. $4. You put it in the market. The market loses 50%. How many dollars you got? Easy part. Everybody wins that one. Now, the market recovers the next day and it gains 50%. How many dollars you got? 3. Most of your clients are going to say 4 because they don't understand how to recover from market risk. And that's unfortunate. When we're talking about our retirement funds, no one wants to have to deal with losses in our retirement portfolio. The IUL is an excellent vehicle to never have to worry about dealing with market losses. You have to be an asset again. After we played the question game for a little while, we got to sprinkle in a little bit of knowledge, right? So I have 5 keys that I tell my clients are the key to retirement. The 5 keys to retirement. The first, if you have kids, the kids got to be out the house off the payroll, right? Kids cannot be in the house if you want to retire. Or we have to have a really good plan to help you pay for them. Because in retirement, most of us are going to be on a fixed income. There's nothing fixed about kids. Not a single thing. Nothing, right? Second thing, so first is kids, second thing is mortgage. We have to have our mortgage paid off before we want to retire. Or, again, have a really solid plan for paying that mortgage in retirement because at the time of retirement, your mortgage is typically your biggest expense. And we don't want to take that expense into our retirement. Third thing, debt. If you have debt, create a plan now before you get to retirement so that you have 0 debt by the time you retire. We don't want debt sucking down our retirement income. Fourth thing, what most people don't even consider is healthcare. In our country, unfortunately, healthcare is often tied to your job. When you stop working, you stop having healthcare. The good news is that we have Medicare, and I hope everybody in here is AHIP certified. Medicare season's coming up. Terry Ayers taught me about that. Low premium, no premium. We can't say free, right? No premium. Put money in our pocket, give them good health care. But that doesn't start until they turn 65. So if you have a client who wants to retire at 60, they got to have a 5-year plan for how to cover their health care. And again, as you get older, the more health challenges you're going to have, it's going to be tough to pay for that. So it needs to be a consideration as we're talking about retirement planning. And then the fifth thing, so the first thing is kids. Second thing is mortgage. Third thing is debt. Fourth thing is health insurance. The fifth thing, and this is where we come in, is having enough money to last you to and through retirement safely. Having enough money to last you to and through retirement safely. That's the hook, right? So we asked them questions, then we were an asset, we taught them a little bit, now we go back to the question game, right? And I asked them, hey, when do you want to retire? Most people don't think about it. It's just some date way in the future, especially if you're talking to younger people, right? When do you want to retire? Write that down. Okay, cool. How much money are you currently saving towards your retirement? Monthly or yearly, doesn't matter. We can do math, all right? How much money are you saving towards retirement? Third thing is I ask them everything that we need on the green sheet. Everything we need on the green sheet. We already have the tools. You don't have to create anything new. Use the green sheet, all right? So how much money are you currently saving to retirement? Fill out the green sheet, and then I sprinkle in something. Hey, most people save around 10 to 20% of their salary a month, right? I'm setting expectations. I want them to know that, hey, we're probably going to need to be putting away 10 to 20% of our salary in order to safely retire. But I also tell them, hey, that's just a recommendation. My recommendation has to be matched with your reality because it's your money. It's not mine, right? And then here's the real conversation. We asked a lot of questions. We did a lot of teaching. But in a perfect world, assuming that all 4 of the other conditions are met, your house is paid off, your kids are out of the home, you have no debt, and we're going to either have health care paid for or we're going to retire at 65. How much money do you want to earn in retirement per year? How much money do you want to earn in retirement per year? What that's going to do is help them to figure out some numbers that we're going to need to be able to run IUL illustrations. And I also tell the client, again, trying to set expectations, is that most people want to get about $2,000 to $4,000 in retirement income per month. Most people, all right? Now, everybody in this room should be a little bit different because we're on a millionaire path, right? That's right. But for our clients, when we're counseling them, around $2,000 to $4,000 a month in retirement income tax-free should be able to get them where they want to be. Now, with all of that information, I can run an illustration. And I can run an illustration from both sides, both ends. And what I mean is the first end over here is going to be based on what their current investment amount is. Whatever they're currently investing into their 401k, I'm going to run an illustration based on that information, right? Then I'm going to run one in the middle. I'm going to run one, if they're not contributing 10 to 20%, I'm going to run one at around 10 or 12%, just to show them what it looks like. Then I'm going to reverse engineer one and run one that they showed me what they wanted to earn in retirement income. I'm going to run one based on that number. If those 3 don't match, I'm going to present all 3 to the client. If all 3 match, hey, I got great news for you, client. We got a great plan for you. You're on track. But if not, I present all 3 and I ask them which one best fits what they're looking for in retirement. This is no different than any other life insurance product we're selling. You got to get to their why. You got to play the question game. You got to use the green sheet, and then you got to put the options in front of them and let the client choose, right? This is similar, again, to life insurance, where I don't want them making a wholly financial decision. I want them to see themselves in retirement. I want them to see themselves on the beach somewhere spending that $4,000 of tax-free retirement income, right? I want them to understand that retirement is coming. It's going to be here before you know it, right? There are tools that we all have to make us be able to sell IULs. Everybody in this room has these tools available. First one, this book right here. If you don't have this book, go outside and buy it. If you don't have this book, go outside and buy it. If you have this book and you haven't read it, read it. It should take you a day. It's not that long. I bought this book at my first conference. I already knew what an IUL was, but Andy said, hey, you need to read this book. I bought it and I read it. The next thing you need is to go on NFA University and search IUL. There's 4 videos at a minimum you need to watch. Video 280 is the introduction to the IUL. Introduction to the IUL. The second video is video 214. It's the client presentation. This video also comes with a PowerPoint presentation that you can use and tailor to fit your client's specific needs. The third video is video 223, Advanced ATM Concepts. It's going to teach you how to ask the right questions when you're trying to sell the IUL. And then the fourth video is video 320. This one is an optional video, but it's the North American Builder Plus 3 video that shows you how to run an illustration. So 4 videos again, in case you didn't get it. Video 280, Intro to IUL. Video 214, the client presentation. It also comes with a PowerPoint. Video 223, Advanced ATM Concepts. And then video 320, the North American Builder Plus. The third thing that you have at your disposal to help you get better at selling IULs is a young lady who helped me immensely getting started, and her name is Gina Hawk. You all have a personal person that can help you get better at selling IULs. Gina Hawk sat down with me for about 2 hours at an event 2 years ago around this time. It was called the Fall Summit. She didn't have to do that. She sat down with me and answered every single question I had. She helped me run illustrations. It was amazing. Sabrina Floyd was there with me. It was amazing. But here's what I want you to do. Don't waste Gina's time. Come with your questions prepared so that you can ask the questions to help you get the knowledge to get better at doing what you need to do. And then the last thing I'm going to tell you how to get better at selling IULs is personal use. If you don't have one, start selling policies to earn enough to be able to fund your IUL. If you ask my wife, I think in terms of policies. If I need $500 to go on a trip, I need to write a policy. That's one app, right? To fund your IUL every month, one app. $500 IUL, one app. And you get paid on writing your own IUL, right? We can all be good IUL salesmen. We can all be good insurance salesmen. But the first thing that has to start is you have to be a good asset to your clients. You have to be willing to ask them the questions to help them get better, because many of them don't even know that they have a problem. And then you have to be willing to put in the work to understand the product that you're trying to put in front of them, which starts with personal use. That's about all the time I have for you all. I hope that I put something in your kit bag that you can take with you. I'm gonna spray some prosperity in the air that I got from Terry Edwards. We're about to blow this thing up, put it in the air. If you see me afterwards, ask questions, make sure you're networking, make sure you're doing the work that you need to do, and let's continue to blow this thing up. Thank you, Alliance.